the fare does get decreased to $2. Will it stay $2 for a little bit, or will it go up to $4 the following year?
Well, I think the answer to that is it depends upon how politically active the people of Staten Island are. The fact of the matter is that Staten Island, in the last two municipal and state elections, has really shown a great deal of strength in electing people to office, and those people ought to be held accountable to us. And I believe that if the two people who control the MTA, despite what anyone may think or say, are the governor and mayor, they appoint every single board member to the MTA. If those two people can be persuaded to improve Staten Island Transit, to dedicate resources to Staten Island the way they do everywhere else, then I think the answer is yes. I think we can get a $2 fare and keep it for a good long time.
Well, just to add to that, the governor, Pataki, made a promise, which he kept during his campaign, to reduce the fare for Staten Islanders on the Verrazano to $3.20 with the pass, which is what it is now. So maybe we can get him to do the same thing for bus passengers.
That's what we're hoping.
Thank you.
Anybody
else back here?
We have a caller on line 4. Can we go to that? Hello, hi, you're on the air.
Oh, man, I didn't think I was going to get through. But, I wanted to tell you my quick story.
Yes.
I'm a newcomer to Staten Island. I'm in the South Beach section. And I grew up in the Bronx. Whoa. I grew up in the Bronx. And basically, I'm a locksmith in Manhattan. I take the express bus every morning, every afternoon. And, you know, I'm not an experienced locksmith. I'm a young, struggling locksmith. You understand? I have a little family. And it hurts.
I'm a young, struggling union president, by the way.
It hurts my pocket, man. You know what I'm saying? To know that every time I get paid, I got to put aside $40. You know, for you know what I'm saying? I don't make the kind of money you guys make. You know what I'm saying?
What? Who's he talking to?
It hurts me. You know? So I just wanted to touch base with you guys and let you know that I do support the plan. I faxed everybody. You know, I got a letter from Fusco, whatever the guy's name is, and you know, I'm basically surprised I got through. So,
okay.
My name is Angel, anyway.
Thanks a lot, Angel.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that's just one very important piece of this is the fact of the matter is that as of July of 1997, you can live anywhere in the city of New York and get to any other part of the city for $1.50. But unless we are successful in this campaign, the people who live in Staten Island in areas served by express buses will be the only people in the city of New York who do not have the opportunity to get to work for $1.50. Jim, back to the audience.
My name is George Oki. I'm a bus driver in Staten Island here. And it's important to know that by helping the public to reduce the fare, it will help your city servants. I mean, it sounds selfish, but it guarantees that there'll be more people out there working for you. So we need your help now to help fight this fight.
Okay. Thanks,
and
George.
Jason wants to say something.
Oh, Jason
also volunteered tonight to drive a couple of our passengers to the studio.
Jason Rothstein. I'm a driver at a Castleton Depot. I just want to say that I'm very impressed and proud of all the Staten Islanders who have shown their support for what we're trying to do. I have to honestly say, my first impression was that people of Staten Island, I figured they would have gotten so disgusted and probably even so angered by what we're going through on the buses that they would have just given up, but they haven't. They have supported us, and I think it's great, and hopefully you can keep doing that, and more power to them, more power to us, and let's just keep the fight going. Let's keep the fight going.
Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
We're going to go to another phone call. Hi, you're on the air.
Mr. Henley.
Yes.
Pleasure to speak to you this evening.
Thank you. Good
I have a
stuff.
quick comment.
Sure.
The ATU's plan is to ease traffic in the morning commute.
Right.
It seems that the powers that be are looking to accommodate traffic with the construction and all this going on. A $2 fare would pull the people, would give them a reason to leave their cars at home and to, you know, just stay there. But with the Easy Pass that the Verrazano Bridge uses, it makes people want to bring their cars. It's an incentive. Say, oh, you can zip right through. Do you understand my point?
Yeah, and that's what actually we're proposing an easy bus. That's what our whole proposal is about.
That's pulling people out of their car. Leave the car home. A $2 fare would, hey, it doesn't even pay for me to start the car for $2.
Okay, great.
Okay, keep up the fight.
Thanks for your call.
That's a good point about accommodating traffic.
John Orcutt.
Something the folks on Staten Island might want to pay attention to is what the Port Authority is talking about with the Goethals Bridge, because they want to double the capacity there, which could really sort of just nail Staten Island down as the truck route of choice into the city once that second bridge is built. So that's something to think about in terms of the future of the expressway and the kind of traffic you're going to see there.
Great. Hi, you're on the air? Hello? You're on the air? You're gone. Hi, you're on the air?
Yes. Hi, how are you?
Sure, how are you?
You say that I support very much what you're trying to accomplish here. I'm one of the riders. You've got a few of us in the audience there who are on the 10X or trying to catch a 10X every morning. And if I do catch a 10X, I wind up standing up. There are 2 or 3 times as many private buses out there. My concern is with respect to service availability. If you do succeed in getting a $2 express fare, I suspect we're going to put a lot of these private bus companies out of business, and there's going to be a heck of a lot less service available to me to get to work. I don't believe the MTA is going to add so many additional buses that they'll be able to accommodate us all.
Okay.
I understand in some areas that the MTA is even looking to have private bus services. I think they run them in Brooklyn. I think they run them in Queens. How do we expect this to change?
Okay. Well, I think the answer is that Staten Island for the last 15 years has really not had its voice heard in terms of getting its tax dollars returned to it for mass transit. And what we're trying to do here is to build the kind of coalition that's necessary to get the elected officials who run the MTA, and that's the governor and mayor, to reinvest in Staten Island, to put the money back in. And let me just give you one glaring example of what's happening. There's a $9 billion capital plan to rebuild the system, which will build more subways, add buses, build buildings throughout the city. Less than 1% of that capital plan is going to be spent on Staten Island as of this minute. And at the same time, our tolls are going throughout the city and throughout the region. Your phone bill, your gas bill, your electric bill are being taxed to provide mass transit everywhere except in Staten Island. So the bottom line is that until we get together with our riders and put the governor and mayor on notice that we are demanding the services that we pay for, we never will get them. And that's what's really important about this campaign.
Well, good luck to you. I hope you succeed.
Well, let's get together and we'll win. Thank you. Jim, back to the audience.
Okay, you are?
Denise Alton.
And where do you ride? What bus do you ride?
10X, 12X.
How long does it take you to get to work?
Up to an hour, because I leave at 6 o'clock in the morning. If I left at a quarter after or 20 after, I would probably take an hour and a half.
And this is what part of Manhattan?
I work in the Village, okay? And my concern is these buses that are going to Midtown, I heard that they leave you off at a certain point, and then you have to make your way either downtown or some other place wherever you work. Is there any possibility that they can work their way downtown instead of just leaving us uptown and, you know, people that work in, like I say, the Village and around Canal Street?
Yeah, I think a couple things.
Thank you. That's a good question.
A couple things I want to say about that. First of all, several months ago, we began to work with the Transit Authority about getting buses to go through New Jersey, and the Transit Authority has been receptive because it's a savings to them, and really, believe it or not, I know this is hard to believe, the Transit Authority doesn't want to deliberately make your ride rougher than it is. And I know that's hard to believe. But I'm hopeful. I think 2 things. First of all, there are some planning people at the Transit Authority who are interested in innovation. And secondly, I think that Staten Island has been heard loud and clear. We have a governor and mayor who have tended to be responsive and ought to be responsive to us. And I think that the louder our voices, the sooner they'll be doing things like that in rerouting buses. For example, you're talking about perhaps coming in the Holland Tunnel or the Lincoln Tunnel and coming downtown. I think that's very much, you know, very possible. Dave, you wanted to?
Yes, Larry, in regards to the last caller about the capital plan, there's a study out, and you know well about it, is for every dollar invested in transit, there's a $5, I believe it's a $5 return to the city.
Why don't we go to John? John, the
That's
report
the,
from the FTA, the Federal Transit Administration.
That was a Federal Transit Administration report, and and they really look closely at New York because of how much transit we have, and it was clear that the city wouldn't function, you know, physically because people couldn't get around, and certainly economically because the efficiencies that transit.
So it would be a boom to the city.
Sure.
So what they're saying is for every tax dollar that they invest in mass transit, there's a $5 return to our economy. So it's profitable to invest in mass transit.
Yeah, more sustainable jobs, more people getting to where they need to go.